The day I went to pick up the wedding rings, I realized there were two men's rings in my custom order. One was for me. The other was for Alex, the college student my girlfriend sponsored. I grabbed the men's rings and went to confront her, but overheard her making a phone call. She said, "Help me buy Alex a house in your name so Peter won't find out." I couldn't hear what the other person said. She rasped, "I love him. I can't give up on Alex." Eventually, I let her go and allowed them to be together. Finding out there were two identical rings felt like getting pierced by a needle. I had designed these rings myself. Inside each was engraved the date we met and our names. The other ring had Alex and her name and their date of meeting. I thought these were uniquely ours with deep meaning. But in the end, I was just a fool. I chuckled bitterly, putting their ring back. As I turned to leave, I tossed my ring into the trash. While walking away, I tried to calm down. Out of the jewelry store, the cool breeze cleared my mind. Just as I was about to call Clara and question her about the rings, I got her message from 3 minutes ago. She said she was waiting for me at a nearby restaurant. Looking at it, I started walking towards the restaurant. On the way there, my mind was a mess, wondering how to confront her. Upon arrival, following the server's lead, I saw Clara at the window on the phone, facing away from me. "Help me buy Alex a house in your name so Peter won't find out." Hearing her words, it hit me hard. Their relationship was not what it seemed. And me? What did I even mean in all this? Looking at her familiar silhouette, she suddenly seemed like a stranger. Unaware of the response on the other end, she rasped, "I love him, I can't give up on Alex." Her words poured over me like ice water, cooling me completely. I decided to let her have Alex. Thinking this, I managed my emotions and knocked on the door. She quickly hung up and turned, surprised to see me standing in the doorway. "When did you get here?" I smiled. "Just now." "Who were you talking to?" She focused on my face, relieved when she saw I wasn't upset. Walking over, she pulled out the chair nearest to me, a call from work. They reminded me of an afternoon meeting, telling me to head back early. I nodded, accepting the weak excuse. "Then let's eat. Afterward, you can head back." She ordered for the food. Looking at me, she asked, "How were the men's rings? Did they meet your expectations?" I gave a faint smile, nodding, "They're nice. But it was a surprise, the custom ring has a twin." I left it at that. Her eyes flickered, clearly unsettled. Maybe there was a mix-up. "I'll check it out this afternoon." I let it go. My heart was already cold. She stared at me, probably wondering why I was so quiet today. Usually, I was the talkative one whenever we were together. I loved sharing the funny stuff that happened to me and talking her ear off. In the beginning, she was patient, commenting here and there. Then Alex graduated high school and moved here. Slowly, she grew impatient. Sometimes she'd change topics or cut me off, saying, "Guys shouldn't talk so much. You should be quieter." I used to show frustration whenever she said this. But she never tried to soothe me, always let me work it out alone. Thinking back, I felt foolish. Her shift in attitude was so obvious, yet I never caught on. Clara and I grew up together. We met in kindergarten. Our parents loved each other like family friends. They decided on our marriage when we were kids. Both of us knew we were expected to end up married, so we both avoided getting too close to others. Alex was an unexpected variable. Helping him was my idea. The first time we met, he was skinny, weaker than other kids his age. But he was sweet, calling everyone Big Brother politely. I wanted to help him find a way out of his struggles. But I didn't have much money. I begged Clara to help me support him. At first, she refused. "I don't have time for this playing house thing." Then I had a bad car accident. She begged people for help, and she promised to pray for me, even climbed 3,000 steps despite not being religious. Someone told her doing good deeds would help me, so she supported Alex, who came from poverty. A few days later, I pulled through. She jokingly said Alex was my lucky charm, that I should be nice to him. So, I treated him like a younger brother, offering whatever I could. But I had unwittingly let in a threat, a betrayal. Thinking this, I lost my appetite. I only had a few bites before stopping. Noticing, Clara asked, "Not to your taste?" I scanned the table, most dishes were spicy, and I can't eat spicy food. She realized this, looking apologetic. I'm sorry, I forgot. I opened my mouth, about to suggest breaking up. Just then, a familiar voice chimed in. Clara. Alex pushed the door open with a bright smile, wearing a sharp suit. He paused seeing me but quickly smiled again. Peter, you're here too. His smile for me wasn't as genuine as it was for Clara. Looking closely, it seemed forced. I glanced at him and didn't respond. Clara frowned and gave a playful scold. How come you still can't learn to knock before coming in? While it sounded like she was scolding, it was more out of helplessness. Alex grinned cheekily. I forgot. I'll remember next time. Peter, can I join you guys for dinner? I'm starving after class, he asked me, but his eyes were fixed on Clara. Before I could respond, Clara said, if you're hungry, come eat. See if there's anything you want to order more of. Alex naturally took a seat to her right and beamed. No need, you've already ordered so many things I love. Clara's face froze for a second, and she instinctively glanced at me. I kept my expression calm and said, if you like it, have more. As I said this, Clara's tense expression softened, though her eyes still held some curiosity. Peter, if there's anything you want, go ahead and order, Clara offered, handing over the menu. I smiled and declined, no thanks. Saw something gross this morning, and now I just feel like throwing up. No appetite. Alex raised an eyebrow. What was it? I tried to sound casual, it's just a friend of mine. His girlfriend cheated on him, eating meals he cooked and then going to her lovers. Her stomach's all messed up now. She's in the hospital for surgery. He sent me a picture. It was disgusting. People like that, they deserve no sympathy, right, Clara? I smiled sweetly, but Clara's face turned pale. She hesitated and echoed, yeah. Alex wasn't looking too pleased either. His smile was becoming strained. Peter, maybe that girl just didn't feel anything for her boyfriend anymore. It's not totally fair to say it like that, right? No feelings, huh? Why not just break up first, then find someone new? Alex, you're still young, you don't understand women these days. If she really liked that lover, she wouldn't keep hanging on to her boyfriend while keeping the other guy in the shadows. I was being blunt, and Alex's face had completely dropped, with a hint of guilt in his eyes. I smirked inwardly. Clara looked irritated and cut me off. That's their business. Why are you getting worked up? Right, and I believe, Clara, you wouldn't be that kind of person. I replied with a smile, leaving her speechless. Alex avoided looking at me for the rest of the evening. Clara offered to take me home, but I declined. So she said, then I'll take Alex back to school. Be careful going home. No need, Clara. You should take Peter home. I can just get a cab to school, Alex said shyly, acting completely different from before. Probably afraid I'd discover their secret relationship since I'd stop funding him if I knew. Before I could refuse, Clara spoke coldly, with an air of authority. Peter can get home on his own. You don't have to worry. But your school is so secluded, it's not safe to take a cab. I'll drop you off. Alex looked at me apologetically and got into the front seat. Then I won't be polite. He rolled down the window and waved. Peter, take care on your way back. I watched them leave, feeling a bit down despite having vented earlier. Clara and I had known each other for 20 years. I never thought she could show this kind of betrayal. Or maybe she hid it too well for me to notice. I laughed bitterly to myself and went home. Later that night, Clara came back smelling of alcohol. I was lounging on the couch watching TV, only turning the channel when she came in. She stumbled over, taking off her coat and tossed a fancy gift box on the couch. This is a new watch. I got someone to get it for you. See if you like it. She was drunk and tried to hug me. I smoothly avoided her grasp and moved over to the single chair. She was to Alex aback, looking confused. You smell too much like alcohol. Go shower first, I suggested. Clara sniffed herself, then silently got up and headed to the bathroom with her pajamas. I was bored, so I opened the gift box. It was a light green watch, very fresh and youthful. Obviously, this kind of style suited those bright, lively young guys. I pressed my lips together and put the watch back in the box. Then I started scrolling through videos on my phone and stumbled across a familiar account. I paused for a second and clicked on it. The vlog was all about his daily life. He didn't show his face, but his surroundings were so familiar. When Alex started college, I'd helped him out, so I knew the layout of their dorm. The background in the video matched perfectly with his dorm room. As I browsed through the videos, I noticed some weren't filmed in the dorm. They were in the apartment we live in now. She actually brought him home when I wasn't aware. Suddenly, I remembered her call today. She asked someone to buy Alex a house. My fingers trembled as I kept scrolling. I looked closely and discovered something. The watches, accessories, skincare, everything in his videos I had too. And they were all gifts from Clara. Shocked, I rushed barefoot into the wardrobe. I started comparing the items in the video with my own, checking the posting dates. I realized that Clara had given me these things and then made exact copies to give to Alex. Just like before, whatever I had, he had too. Thinking about it, I felt a surge of nausea. My genuine love was just a joke now. I couldn't understand why she'd do this to me. If you don't love anymore, why not just break up? Why are you making me sick like this? I clenched my fists, trying to suppress the raging anger inside me. I pulled out my phone and snapped pictures of everything in front of me, saving all the videos Alex had sent. Clara and I weren't just together because we liked each other. Our relationship involved the interests of our two companies and the ties between our families. Breaking up wasn't simple, but Alex's videos made it a lot easier. Afterward, I calmed myself down and walked out of the room. Clara was hurriedly changing clothes. Seeing me, she said in a flustered voice, "There's a flasher at Alex's school, and they haven't caught him yet. It's not safe for Alex. I'm going to pick him up to stay over for the night." She wasn't asking. She was informing. I looked at her coldly and said, "Clara, if you walk out that door today, we're done." Her movements stopped, and her dark eyes flared up with anger. "Peter, what do you mean? Haven't I made myself clear?" Clara laughed in anger, giving me a cold stare. "Stop being unreasonable. I have something important to take care of." Without waiting for my response, she slammed the door and left. What she didn't know was that my words weren't meant to make her stay, but to take a gamble. Clearly, I lost to another man. As soon as she walked out, I packed my things. I took everything she gave me as compensation for wasting my youth. I had a car in the garage, so once everything was packed, I drove straight home. Luckily, my parents were out traveling abroad. It was just me at home. After tidying up, I gathered all the evidence of Clara's infidelity and threw it in the family group chat. My family and Clara's parents are close. We have a shared group with quite a few people in it. There are many night owls in the group, so my message sparked quite a reaction. Ignoring their questions, I announced, "Clara and I are done. The wedding is off." The next second, Clara messaged me privately. "Peter, retract that message. What are you trying to do? Where are you? I'll come to find you and we can talk about this." I didn't respond. Instead, I blocked and deleted her. Then, Alex messaged, "Peter, I know I've wronged you, but Clara and I truly love each other. If you have any issues, take them out on me. Don't hurt Clara." I didn't respond. Instead, I took a screenshot and shared it in the group. I've never been one to put up with grievances. Since they didn't want things to end amicably, there was no need for me to save face for them. After sending the screenshots, my parents started calling, asking what happened. I didn't hold back and told them everything I discovered. My mom was so furious she bought a plane ticket to come back and stand up for me. I felt it was unnecessary and wanted to persuade her not to return. Clara's mom then messaged me saying, "Peter, come over for dinner tomorrow. I'll make sure Clara explains herself." Initially, I didn't want to go, but when I heard that Clara's grandpa knew and wanted to see me, I didn't refuse. The next day, my assistant called. "Peter, it's time for Alex's allowance again. How much should we give him this month?" "No need to give him any more," I replied, adding, "Never again. He has someone else to take care of him." Over the years, Alex had lost his humility. After starting college, he hadn't applied for financial aid or thought about working part-time. He was into luxury brands head to toe. I had long wanted to stop supporting him but hadn't decided because of his paralyzed parents and his mentally challenged brother. Now, it seemed he didn't need my help anymore. No need for me to demean myself. After giving instructions, I headed to the office. Since graduating from college, my dad had gradually turned over the company matters to me. Now he's practically retired, traveling with my mom, so much of my time is spent working. I rushed to the office, and before I could sit down, Clara barged in. Anger was all over her face, and her voice was cold. "Peter, do you know that your messages last night almost gave Grandpa a heart attack?" Her appearance didn't surprise me. I kept my expression neutral, interrupting her. "What's that got to do with me? It was your dirty deeds, not mine. You should be ashamed, not act crazy here. If you have nothing else, please leave. I have work to do." Clara was left speechless. She rubbed her temples and softened her tone. "Peter, it's all a misunderstanding. I see Alex as a brother. There's nothing between us. When you visit my family today, explain that to them. Let's ignore what happened yesterday and continue with the wedding." Those words made me feel sick. How could she even say such things? With disgust in my eyes, I said, "Clara, did you really think you were irreplaceable to me? She was the unfaithful one. Who was she to speak to me like that?" Clara pinched the bridge of her nose, exhausted, her voice soft. "Peter, I know you're upset, but don't act out. You know our families do a lot of business together, and our parents are good friends. If our issues affect the families, it's just not worth it. Why didn't you think about that when you did what you did? You're the one who messed up, not me." Clara suddenly got emotional. "Yes, I made a mistake. But doesn't every woman have her little fun on the side? Alex is no threat to you. Can you really guarantee someone will be loyal to you for life? Peter, we're adults, not naive kids. Stop seeing things so simply." After hearing what she said, I almost laughed. With a cold edge in my eyes, I replied, "You're just saying all this to ease your guilt. In the end, you're just a typical selfish woman. I wasted time with you, but I'm done now. Marry whoever you like. It's none of my business. If you don't want this to be a spectacle, leave on your own, or I'll call security. I don't tolerate things like this, especially when it's self-inflicted." Seeing that she couldn't reason with me, Clara stormed away angrily. That afternoon, I went to Clara's house as planned. As soon as I entered, I saw Clara kneeling in the living room. The old man sat sternly on the sofa, a natural authority on his face. I walked over slowly and greeted him softly. "Grandpa." Seeing me, his serious expression softened. "Peter, I'm aware of the situation. I called you here to give you an explanation. Clara made a mistake and she should be punished. What do you think is fair?" He was clearly trying to smooth things over easily. In the past, I'd go along with it, but not now. I shook my head. "Grandpa, Clara and I broke up. This is your family matter, not for me to decide." The atmosphere instantly turned tense. Clara's mom was anxious, pacing. She tried to talk to me several times, but Grandpa's gaze stopped her. "Peter, did you think this through? Marriage isn't a joke. Once it's over, there's no going back." Grandpa finished, and Clara suddenly looked up at me, eyes filled with worry. Before I could speak, she said, voice scratchy, "Peter, I'll cut ties with Alex. Can you forgive me just this once?" "Yeah, Peter, Clara knows she was wrong. Give her another chance. If she does something stupid again, I won't let it slide myself." Her mom tried to hold my hand, promising repeatedly. On my way here, my mom called, asking me to be gentle, not to let this hurt family ties. I took a deep breath, answering dismissively. They asked me to stay for dinner, but I found an excuse to leave. Back home, I unblocked Clara's contact. I sent her a message. "I won't be visiting your place anymore. Please tell your family we've bro Alex up. Don't come looking for me. I'm busy with work and don't want to waste time on this." Then I blocked her again and left the family group chat. I thought Clara wouldn't cling, but I was wrong. The next day, I overslept and ran into her on my way to work. Clara had a breakfast bag in hand, dressed in casual where I recognized our matching set. She once thought it was childish, refused to wear it. "What are you doing here? I brought you breakfast. Eat something, don't hurt your stomach." Her tone was gentle, acting like nothing had happened. I looked at her coldly, avoiding eye contact. "Clara, didn't I make myself clear? Or do you just like playing dumb? Peter, it shouldn't have gotten this bad. I'll cut ties with Alex. It'll just be us from now on. No need. I refused instantly, adding after seeing her blank expression, I find it dirty. With that, I walked past her, heading to my car. Seeing her about to follow, I quickly started the engine and left the parking lot. Today must be my unlucky day. As soon as I reached the office, Alex was there waiting for me. I brushed past him, ignoring his attempt to talk. Peter, hear me out. I know what I did with Clara was wrong, and I never meant to hurt you. I think of you like a brother, and I'm really upset about this too. I stopped, looking back at him with a mocking smile. So you're saying you're morally bankrupt enough to go after your brother's girlfriend? Alex turned pale, clenching his clothes, seeming unsure on how to continue. I glanced at him, my eyes suddenly halted. Now I understood why Clara wore that childish outfit. Alex was wearing mine. It was also part of the matching set. It was so ridiculous, I couldn't even laugh. I had already bro Alex up with Clara, yet they still insisted on being shameless. Alex, do you think you're innocent? No, Peter, if you're upset, take it out on me. I just hope you and Clara can remain friends. I let out a cold laugh. You're pretty bold for thinking I'd bother with someone like you. Cheating is just like domestic violence. It happens either 0 or countless times. This time, Clara couldn't resist temptation and got involved with him. Next time, it'll be someone else. For me, women without a moral compass, the farther away, the better. Only someone like him would think he's found a treasure. Alex's face turned red as I called him out. Peter, I know you look down on me because I'm from the countryside, but I've been working hard to change. I won't forget how you've helped me before, but I genuinely like Clara. You might see her as trouble, but she's priceless to me. Please stop talking about her like that. What he said was both nonsensical and kind of funny. I almost laughed. You like her? I'm not stopping you. I'm making way for you too. What more do you want? Fireworks for celebration? I was dressed sharp, with an air of authority as I spoke. Plus, with tears brimming in his eyes, anyone would think I was bullying him. I was just about to tell him not to waste my precious time when Clara appeared out of nowhere. She stood protectively in front of Alex, her face steely and a hint of discontent in her eyes when she looked at me. Yet, she said nothing and turned to examine him. Did anyone bully you? She whispered lightly. Alex shook his head. It's fine, Clara. I just wanted to talk to Peter. You shouldn't worry. Peter wouldn't harm me. Clara didn't seem convinced. She looked up at me. Peter, it's our issue, don't drag him into it. Talk to me if you need to. Seeing them protect each other made me smirk wryly, and it reminded me of the past. In college, we once skipped classes to hang out. At that time, she was gradually getting involved in the family business, stressed and yearning for a break. So I skipped class to let her unwind, but our parents caught us on return. They kept asking who suggested skipping, and before I could say it was my idea, she pointed at me saying it was Peter. Her family wasn't pleased but didn't blame me because of our family's relationship. I assumed responsibility, seeing it as my fault, and admired her for her selflessness. But now, I realize she's not who I thought she was. She might have left me hanging just because she didn't like me. I smirked coldly. I've got nothing more to say to you two. If he's desperate to be a fool, I won't waste time. Just leave. Without giving them a chance to react, I headed for the elevator. As I stepped in, I instinctively glanced back to where they stood, realizing they were long gone. Back at the office, my assistant brought over a project proposal. It was for an amusement park. I had originally planned to work with Clara, but now, reconsidering, I abandoned the idea. Whenever we collaborated, our profits were minimal, with the lion's share going to her. She needed to prove herself with her aunt returning from overseas, or the board might not keep backing her. Since we broke up, there's no point in considering her needs. Change the partner for this project. Let people know it's open for proposals, I instructed. My assistant looked stunned. Peter, weren't you supposed to work with her? Excluding ongoing projects. Don't consider them in the future. We need to explore more roads, not get stuck on one, I replied. My assistant hesitated before saying, but weren't you and Peter getting married? I smiled and shook my head. We broke up. Those 5 words said it all. In this cutthroat business world, it's rare to genuinely become friends. My assistant understood that. "Okay, I'll handle it." But I got a message from Alex. "Block his number. He's got nothing to do with us now," I said. "Understood." With everything settled, I returned to work. Alex had pride. He wouldn't ask Clara for money directly. Spending freely without saving, he was now left with nothing after my support ended. So I wasn't surprised when my assistant told me she saw a bag identical to mine on a resale site. "If I didn't know you were wealthy, I'd think you were selling your stuff," she joked. "Who knows? Clara's all about equal favoritism," I replied. Everything she gave me, Alex had too, from appliances down to cufflinks. People noticed his resale account, teasing me about why I was selling things like I needed cash. To play along, I posted a donation video on social media. I turned all gifts from Clara into cash and donated it to various regions, under my name, of course. This even got me a prestigious award. With the video out, questions arose. What's the deal? Who's that blogger if it's not you? Why do they have what you have? Some items are limited edition, not easy to get. Yeah, like those diamond cufflinks. Wanted them myself, but they're rare. Now they're on resale. Isn't that just embarrassing? Maybe the blogger stole it, some commented. I didn't respond, but, amusingly, they shared my video praising my kind heart. Although I knew they were just being flattering, it did feel good. Word spread quickly in our circle, so Clara found out too. She immediately went to talk to Alex. She asked him why he did it. Alex, in tears, tried to explain. "Peter hates me so much now. He stopped helping me financially. I'm broke, and I have a family to feed. I can't just watch them starve." Clara wouldn't let the person she liked suffer financially. She gave Alex money to delete those posts. By the time I checked again, they were gone. Our circle isn't big, and news travels fast. The news of Clara and my bro Alex engagement spread quickly. People were surprised because we seemed so close. They wondered what could have happened. Many asked me what went wrong. I just brushed them off by saying we fell out of love. Nobody likes to admit being cheated on, neither men nor women. It's pretty embarrassing. But Alex thought differently. As soon as our breakup became public, she started flaunting him and Clara's relationship everywhere. It was like she wanted everyone to know about them. Friends told me about it and I'd just laugh it off. Then, something came up with the money I donated. My assistant told me that the village I'd helped was actually Alex's hometown. When officials checked, they found that Alex's family home was deserted and run down. After asking around, we learned his family had all passed away by the time he was in high school. So, the money I thought was helping a family ended up just going into Alex's pocket. My assistant laughed at the absurdity, saying they'd never seen anyone so good at scamming people. Last New Year, I'd even called his family. Someone answered, but thinking back, it was probably someone Alex hired to fool me. Realizing this sent a chill down my spine. I couldn't believe I never saw through his lies. Just as I was processing this, I heard Clara brought Alex to her family home. But they were thrown out, gifts and all. I couldn't tell whether to laugh or say serves you right. I focused on work and avoided hearing more about her. But I overlooked one thing: shameless people know no boundaries. Clara came to me again, but not for reconciliation. She wanted help. "Peter, Grandpa has always liked you. Could you say a few nice words about Alex? I'll owe you big time." "Are you crazy? You want me to help your boyfriend?" I replied. She frowned. "No need to be so harsh. If you can't take the harsh truth, leave," I shot back. Her dark eyes met mine. Tiredly, "Peter, do you know the biggest difference between you and Alex? He's not as heartless. After graduation, you went to run your family's business and forgot about me. When I was sick, it was Alex by my side, not you." Talking about Alex made her smile. He was new here, didn't know the area, but rushed to me when he heard I was sick. He gave me medicine, made porridge. In that moment, I realized someone cared for me. That almost made me laugh. I remembered that day clearly because it was me who brought the medicine and made the porridge. I just left for an urgent meeting before she woke up. I was careless and someone else took advantage. But it happened so long ago, there was no point bringing it up again. "Really? He loves you that much? Don't let him down, I said, keeping a straight face. Peter, he is a great guy. For the sake of all the years we've known each other, please help him. I couldn't help but roll my eyes. Clara, come back when you've got some sense. All right? I didn't want to hear her nonsense, so I walked past her and left. Later, at a celebration, I noticed Clara had been replaced by her uncle for a project. That's when I found out she wanted to marry Alex, and her family cut her off. Her grandpa pressured her by using her inheritance against her. Between an inheritance and what she thought was love, Clara chose what she believed to be true love. When I heard about this, I barely kept it together from suggesting her family get her brain checked. In the end, I still merged families with hers. Just not with Clara, but with her aunt. On the day of our engagement, Alex ran off with all of Clara's money. I gave her a parting gift, the truth I'd found out about Alex. I exposed him as a heartless scammer. Clara found out the truth and rushed to find Alex but got into a severe accident on the way, losing her legs. And as for me, I stepped into a new chapter of my life.